we know that shipping is a core part of managing inventory. So in the past, we have created integrations with shippers where you can manage tracking information. But really, that was sort of one-dimensional. You could put the tracking number in after you had executed the shipment, and then you could track that inventory sort of through the process that way. What we have done recently is we have integrated with a multi-carrier shipping platform called Shippo that allows you to actually buy and print your shipping labels directly from inside a beacon. So there's a couple of components to this. The first one is you need to have a Shippo account. So Shippo is, as I said, it's a multi-carrier shipping platform. It has all the major carriers. I mean, you can see here USPS, FedEx, UPS, DHL. There's many others as well. So you get a Shippo account, and then you put payment information in there so that they can then charge you for whichever shipment label you want to buy. But you get the Shippo account, and then you go into our platform and you integrate. And so in the integrations tab, and we're not going to go through this specifically, but you basically connect your Shippo account. So there's a process that you have to go through. We have documentation on how to do that. Once the Shippo account is created, you can then do a couple of other things. What you can do here is in any of your other users. So obviously your admin operations users most likely would be using this, but maybe you want to distribute the ability to print these labels to your distributors or to your sales reps through your account. You can just click on the individual user that you're interested in giving access to, and then in their user level settings, you can go to create shipping labels and turn create shipping labels on, and then they will have the ability to basically do the same thing. They can, go into if they're going to send you inventory back, they can go into the transfer. They can print a shipping label and attach it to the box, and then they're sort of off to the races. We're going to show here just how this works, right? So we're doing this. I'm not going to do this through a rep. I'm going to do this just through my operations account that I'm currently logged into. So I'm going to pick, one of these pending transfers. Scroll down and see, I've got here the tracking information. We're not, there is no tracking information yet because I don't actually have the label, but I do have this create shipping label button. So I'm going to push this button, and now this is going to pull up a multi-step workflow that is going to help you begin to create the shipping label using the Shippo integration. So there is something that is pretty important to note here. You definitely have required fields. If you have filled this data out in the platform, it will populate it. But if you haven't and those fields are required, you are going to have to do that manually, which that's really just another argument for making sure that all your data is clean and up to date inside Beacon. And so then one thing to note here is you want to validate this address, because if you don't validate these addresses as you go through, you're actually going to get an error when you get all the way to the other side of this, and you don't want that. So we're going to say that, let's just say we're shipping this from this Acme Road in Ohio, in Rittman, Ohio. So this is validating through Google. I'm just going to do another real quick validation. So we're sending it from Rittman. We're going to say we're sending it to Acme Road, Delaware, Ohio. Again, I'm missing some information, so I have to make sure that it's all filled out. You can put a return address, but this is an optional. So ship to and ship from are obviously required. Return address is optional if you want. I'm not going to add that. These are the items that are a part of the transfer. And so, I've got the ability, if I want, and I can do this at the catalog level, but I can also do it here. I can say, what's the weight of these items? If I have multiple items, and I can add additional items actually to the transfer through this workflow. Once I move out of this, though, I can't modify. So I can add, the weight, and then the country of origin is going to be USA. And then now it's telling me, okay, you're about to enter the Shippo widget to finish creating the label. You sure you want to do that? Everything is final. And I'm going to click confirm and proceed. And then you'll see what happens here is now I'm in this actual Shippo interface, and I can review the things that I've done, right? So I've got one item, it's 5 ounces. It's basically pulling that from what I put in before. The sender is right, the return is right. You can click into these and you can modify them if you need to. You get package details, right? So, what is it? Is it a box, poly mailer? We'll just say that it's poly mailer, and we'll say it's 8 by 11. Total weight, I can use weight of items, and so it'll pull it, right? 5 ounces. I can choose a template mailer if I want. I entered it in here I can choose a template if I prefer. Are there any additional options that I want to add? Obviously, these are all coming from Shippo and they're coming from the shipper. And then I'm going to get some carrier rates for different carriers, right? So, I've got all these various carrier options here, USPS or UPS. And this is just a function of the way that I've configured our current account. I only have the two carriers that are available to me, but in your own Shippo account, you would have multiple other carriers available. So I'm going to pick the one that I want, and then I'm going to click next. This is basically showing me now. The payment method is the payment method that I have on file on my account, and then it's just showing me what the total is, and then I'm going to buy the label, and then it's going to go through the process of basically executing the label, and then it will put the tracking number automatically in the field, and then I've got my shipping costs automatically in the field. And then I can download the shipping label. So the button print shipping label has changed to download shipping label. So I can click on that, and then here's my shipping label. So now I print it out, add it to my box, and everything is good to go. And again, I never had to leave Beacon. I didn't have to go to UPS. I didn't have to go to FedEx. I didn't have to do any of that other stuff. I just needed to set up a Shippo account and then integrate the Shippo account directly with Beacon, and everything is right there for me. And again, you can distribute this work to folks in the field if you want to give them access to print their own shipping labels to send stuff back to you as well. But that's up to you. Whether or not you give them access, you have access to do this with all of your operational folks on your internal team.